The Society of Indian Automobile Manufacturers, or SIAM, held its 62nd annual convention in the national capital. It's the first physical gathering of the who's who from the automobile industry in 3 years. And the theme was set by Union Minister Nitin Gadkari at the event, announcing the government's plans to turn India into an EV manufacturing hub.
My dream is to make Indian automobile industry #1 manufacturing hub in the world for electric, ethanol, methanol, even biodiesel, LNG, CNG, and for hydrogen. It can be possible. Already we are developing lot of chemistry, sodium ion, zinc ion, then aluminum ion, then the aluminum air technology is also there. So I feel that in due course of time we will get the solution. Presently the life cycle cost of lithium is $130 per kilowatt hour. But I am confident that with your cooperation, within 2 years, it will come to $100. So it will be equal to the cost of petrol vehicle. So there is a huge potential.
In the next few years, the focus will be clearly on electric vehicles, and EV players like Ather Energy are bullish on the prospects for growth.
I think overall the industry would have crossed 100,000 units a month, higher, definitely. What we are playing, our game is we want to win the trust in the market. We're not playing a spec battle, we're not playing a feature battle, we're not playing, though I'm claiming that we'll become the largest by volume, but that's despite us not primarily playing even the volume game right now, right, in the short term. The long-term game that we're optimizing towards is that we want to become the default choice for customers in India, become that product and that brand that you can buy almost brainlessly, right? Like buying this is like a you don't need to think sort of a decision, right? We believe that's the real opportunity, and that's what Ather is gunning towards.
Mainstream two-wheeler manufacturers are already planning an EV offensive, and the next big manufacturer to jump into the EV bandwagon will be Honda two-wheelers.
Yeah, mainly India market consumer like to have a moped class as well as EV class. So some of them need to more high speed. So therefore we are concentrating to consider moped class and the EV class in India.
So for our viewers, the moped class will be 50 kilometers per hour speed?
Yeah, around 50 kilometer, and the EV is about 60 kph. So therefore both of them will be needed in front of consumers in India.
Suzuki Motorcycle India is also considering an electric scooter, which will likely have a design similar to the 125cc Bergman Street.
At this point in time, we are actively looking at that space. It would not be proper for me to say that we are gonna come out with an electric vehicle almost immediately. But yes, we are looking at this space, and we feel that there are a lot of uncertainties which are still around the overall EV ecosystem.
Car and Bike spoke to stalwarts from top automakers on various topics ranging from safety, business, EVs, retail and policies. Mercedes-Benz takes pride in the safety standards of its vehicles, a fact uncovered by Martin Schwenk, Managing Director and CEO of Mercedes-Benz India.
Of course, there is always a need and a role the industry can play. Mercedes-Benz has been here in India since 2015. We had Safe Roads initiative. We have done that annually, several events. I mean, during COVID it didn't happen, but it's scheduled later this year again. So it's showing what's technically possible, but also what's necessary on a consumer base. And I think we will continue to do that. For me, it's very logical. It cannot stop until something is achieved. And I mean, I remember my own childhoods growing not up here in India but in Europe. At the first place, our first cars didn't have safety belts. Then you had the simple safety belts, then you had it on the front, then you had it on the rear. But you grow with that and it becomes normal. Today you feel almost naked if you don't put a safety belt on, and I'm sure everyone feels like that on the front seat. And I'm sure with more enforcement and education you will also feel naked on the rear seat if you don't put a belt on. BMW had a record year in 2022 despite slow sales
due to the pandemic, and sales were up both for BMW's passenger car and BMW Motorrad's two-wheeler business in India.
In our motorcycle segment, we've grown by 48%. So, record year as of now in these 8 months, also our 15th year of operation. So, feels good that we have got something to celebrate for after a long time.
The global chip shortage that erupted due to the pandemic impacted large businesses, but Tata Motors handled it quite well.
When the semiconductors crisis started unfolding, it was becoming very clear that the allocation by the semiconductor suppliers are going to be based on historic volume. So Tata Motors would have been the most affected one. And that created more paranoia as compared to others, I would say. And therefore we started looking for all kind of options, to overcome this crisis, because we had just started our growth journey. And therefore we did multiple things, I would say, to the extent that we redesigned a lot of components to reduce the use of semiconductor. Where there were very application specific chips, we tried to see if we could go for more standard chips. We took tough decisions on suppliers also. We went for additional suppliers where we saw that certain suppliers were raising their hands pretty early, I would say, in the whole crisis as it started unfolding in a more intense manner in the later months. And also being very actively engaged with distributors in the open market. I think combination of all these, and I would say agile decisions that we were taking, possibly, I don't know what was happening in other companies, but at least it helped us deal with the crisis in the best possible manner.
The sentiment, however, was not shared by all. The global shortage of semiconductor chips has significantly affected the production and sales ability of MG Motor India.
Others still in terms of securing chips for certain parts. One reason for that is that
you loaded your cars
we use more chips, so we are becoming victim of our own strategy and success, I would say. So I think we are struggling more. The good news is that yes, we would be doing slightly more than the industry growth for sure, but on a low base, that's not a big thing. So I must say that some of the competitors have done a much better job than us on securing their chip supplies. So for us, things are improving. I think next 2-3 months should be better than our previous few months. So that's a good news. And other thing is that all our 4 products are in wait list and they are in demand. So demand side is not an issue. So that's again a good news. But again, I would say if you want me to sum up our performance, yeah, it has been okay, nothing great for us.
While the semiconductor shortage remains a cause of concern, the Indian auto industry has already surpassed Germany to become the world's 4th largest auto industry. The overall sentiment then among automakers continues to remain bullish for the Indian auto industry.